Okay, so in my presentation, I plan to look at different aspects of professional writing as a major as well as a career. And I also plan to see how our course readings and some of the projects that we did in this class this semester have an impact on professional writing. So what exactly is professional writing? Professional writing is utilizing language and rhetorical strategies. It's also interacting with people, text, and technology. It's adapting to changing tools and different methods, and it's also ultimately producing effective communicative documents. In reading everybody's interview reports, I was able to narrow down some of the major aspects of professional writing into 3 different categories. The first is researching and investigation. As a writer, you have to be an investigator as well. You have to have a strong foundation of research in order to know what you're talking about. The second is communication. Like the mapping project that we did, we learned that communication isn't always just restricted to textual documents. And another important aspect is interaction and interconnectivity. And Peoples covers this in this quote. He basically says that a writer must interact with technology, with text, with products, with other people, so it's definitely a social career, and it's also just not a solitary act. Our interview project with professional writer, I interviewed Brian Walheimer. He's a reporter for the JNC. He covers events pertaining to Purdue, and he offered me some information to aspiring professional writers. And the first is to blend research and investigation with written documentation. As I said before, a writer can't write without first researching the topic at hand. And this often involves moving outside of the office, outside of the desk, and getting out and talking to people and conducting interviews oftentimes. Brian said that a lot of the topics for his articles come from just walking around campus and talking to people and seeing what's important to them. Another thing is understanding and adapting to new and changing technologies. And one really important thing is the internet. Brian talked about how the internet can be both beneficial to like researching and also detrimental to like at his newspaper they post their articles online, and then that kind of opens up the doors to every other news service to cover the exact same stories. And finally, it's important to pay attention to your audience, as we've talked about many times in this class. It's always important to think from the reader's perspective. Some advice for prospective PW students is to practice a lot. You can only get better if you practice, obviously. Another thing is to stay organized. Brian said that it's a good idea to, like, when you're starting a project or a paper, to write down all the information you're going to need to find and how you're going to find it, so that you can stay organized throughout the project. Another thing is to present documents effectively. Presentation and confidence in your writing is often just as important as the writing itself. So you need to sort of sell yourself in a sense. And last but not least, even though it sounds kind of corny, you should always strive to improve your writing. Never be completely satisfied, and always remember that you can always make it better somehow. That's pretty much it. Thanks.